AFTV Rob, we picked up a win in our first game of the season, 2-0.
I'm absolutely buzzing. We were all excited for this game, and we knew it was going to be a tough game going into this one. But such a relief, you know what I mean? The whole world was lined up watching this game, saying to himself, right, Arsenal, what can you do? This is, as soon as the fixture came out, remember we looked at it and we was like, It's like Brentford 2.0, right? Because it's a very difficult place to go to, very hostile ground. We've been there many times. It's a small, compact ground, and they're a good side, managed by a good manager, and we saw what they did with us last year. They beat us 3-0. But I think the difference between last year and this year is that there was more quality on the pitch, and we didn't crumble. When we played Palace last year, when they put it on us, we crumbled. I remember we started that game well, but as soon as they put it really on us, we crumbled. This time, we were up for the fight. And I thought it was a really good performance. You know what I mean? Not the way we started the game, I was thinking this could be 2-3. You know, Jesus was looking sharp, you know what I mean? Martinelli, he had that, remember he had that big chance, Martinelli? You know, I was thinking this could be a few today. We really looked good. But then it kind of turned a bit. We got the goal, and it kind of turned a bit. There was a couple of little errors from Ramsdale, and then all of a sudden the crowd lifted them, and they really stuck it on us. And what I was really pleased to see was the response. William Saliba today, what a performance. We've been seeing it in pre-season, but both me and you are like, well, let's just whisper it quietly because, yeah, that's great against Orlando, great against Chelsea, but what kind of Chelsea is it? This was going to be the test tonight. He passed it with flying colours, absolutely brilliant. And I thought Ben White tonight as well was outstanding at right back. You don't know how difficult a player it is, to play against a player like Wilfried Zaha, who I rate as one of the best wide players in this league. And he kept him quiet.
Yeah.
He kept Zaha really, really quiet. And I think Ben White, he got that yellow card, you know, when he sort of pulled him back, right? But apart from that, he was outstanding, and he's not a right back, really. But, you know, well, we know he can play right back, but that's the best I've seen him as a right back. And Thomas Partey, good. Xhaka was solid. We held firm, and we weathered the storm. And you think about it in that second half, they had a lot of possession, but they really had that chance that Eze had where, you know, that could have been a moment. Maybe he could have done better with that. Ramsdale put in a good save. But apart from that, they didn't really have a lot of chances. We stood up to the fight, and that's what I want to see from Arsenal. And that is how you go away from home and win these type of games. You can't crumble at these places.
Even those couple moments from Ramsdale where in the first half he kind of gave the ball away and he caused us some issues at the back. He made up for it later in the game. In the first half, that save from the header, the second half, the save from Eze going through. So even Ramsdale, I look at and I say, all right, the mistakes, eliminate them. But he also kept us into the game.
And we got to remember, you know what, I did a show the other day, and I had Jay Bothroyd on it, ex-Arsenal player, ex-footballer. And he was saying to me how difficult it is the first game of the season. He goes, no matter how much pre-season you've done well, no matter how much you prepared, he goes, the first game of the season plays tricks with you. You know what I mean? He goes, it's such a tough game. And he said to me, all I want to see is Arsenal win. He goes, it's just about the result, because he goes, I know how difficult a game that's going to be. He goes, probably be like a 1-0. So he was spot on with that, you know what I mean? And we're off to a winning start, man. And I think you said it, you know, the games we got coming up are winnable games. Arsenal could get off to the opposite of what we did last year, which is we got off to a horrendous start. We could get off to a really good start this season. We've got winnable games coming up. You know, let's really stamp our authority. Let's show people that we've got a good side. And, you know, a couple more signings before the end of the transfer window. This team could get into the top 4 this season. I really do think we can. Those are the sort of results you have to get if you're going to get into the top 4. You've got to go away to places like Palace and win, or at least not lose. And we did that today.
Last question, Rob. Nice seeing Tierney come off the bench. We're hearing good stuff about Tomiyasu and Vieira in terms of match fitness, coming back to training. You asked for a couple more players. If I was to say one more position that we need to upgrade in or bring in a body, in what position would that be by the end of August?
I think we need 2 positions. I'm going to have to be greedier, because I think we need... I want to get Tielemans in, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week, because we're playing Leicester. Are we going to try and make a move for him before then? or will it be slightly after? But for me, it's a no-brainer. He'd fit into this team. So, and it brings more quality to the side. And I think I still would like to see a wide player that scores goals. I know there's no sort of striker out there that comes to mind that we could go and get right now that could, but even if it's a wide player, like, in the ilk of a Rafinha or somebody like that who can, from out wide, is a serious goal-scoring threat as well. Because even today, Saka, there's a couple of occasions I think he could have done better in certain positions where, not that I'm not going to have a go at him because he's carried us last year. But another wide player can play on either flank or down the middle who scores goals. We get those two in, we're set decent for the season.
Yeah, that Rob wants two. Josh, Stan, sort it out.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.